Hi, this is Brad with Stokes Wagon RV, and thank you for watching the video. If you want to continue seeing videos being brought to you where I give you tours of campgrounds where through the perspective of a weekend warrior with kids, in other words, enjoying those extra long weekends with the family and what you can do and what you can see, please hit that subscribe button. It's very important. Please subscribe right now. Now this week we're heading to the Lake Hartwell / Anderson KOA, or is it the Anderson / Lake Hartwell KOA? And that is our issue. When I booked it, I thought it was on Lake Hartwell because it was called the Lake Hartwell KOA. I found out a couple days beforehand it's not on Lake Hartwell. And when I got there, everything said Anderson KOA instead of Lake Hartwell. And I found out the lake is nearby, a couple miles, but the public access is also a couple miles away where you have to get in your vehicle and pretty much drive there. Now, I wasn't the only one that got duped on that. Nope, as I was social distancing speaking to my neighbor, that's where I yell from my site and he yells back from his site. He asked me, why is it called the Lake Hartwell KOA when it's not on the lake? He also booked it not knowing it's not on the lake. He actually left the next day because there was no reason for him to really be there. So he just traveled on to another campground. So that's a good question. So anytime you're looking at the KOA app or the KOA website and you see a slash, make sure it's where you think it is. Because I've seen a couple times now campgrounds having slashes, and well, it's not really near where they claim it is. But overall, everyone there was pretty nice. But, well, here, watch the video. You'll see.
Take the next left onto Wham Road.
Staying out again on another beautiful day to the Lake Hartwell KOA. Now, as you heard before, it actually wasn't on the lake. So right here, right now, is the only time we actually got to see the lake. But it was beautiful. Just look at that lake right there. It would have been so nice to be able to wake up and walk to see that every single day. But unfortunately, that just wasn't in the plans. But at least we got to see it going in and leaving. Well, we got camp set up, but it didn't start out exactly perfect. Now, we got one of those patio sites, and it was okay. There were some other sites that were a little nicer with a wood patio. But overall, I wasn't too upset. But when we got there, well, the wife, that was a little different story. The whole place was messy, pretty much unusable. There was ashes in the fire pit, stuff everywhere, and to the point where my wife had to spend 45 minutes cleaning this table, and this is after cleaning for 30 minutes, so it looks pretty good here. But when we first got there, there's a nasty rag on it and a whole bunch of other weird stuff. But with me, all I need is a nice place to sit in a calm, quiet atmosphere, and I'm, well, a happy camper. That is paradise to me. Now, the next morning, I did my favorite thing. Cook breakfast outside. You'll hear me say it once, not twice, but 1,000 times. My favorite thing to do is to cook breakfast and have it outside at a campground. But we did have some critters falling out of the trees that morning. Look real close on that griddle and you'll see a frying caterpillar. He fell and landed at the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, later on that day, we had some visitors. My in-laws came to visit. Well, the truth is they came to visit their granddaughter. I don't think they cared that I was there or even their own daughter, but their little grandbaby lights up their eyes like nothing else. And as you can see, they light up her eyes too. And well, to be honest, even Bailey gets a little excited when they come to visit. Well, here's some more of our little friends that keep falling from the trees. Hello, Mr. Caterpillar. Hello, Mrs. Caterpillar. Oh, where are you going? That was a short visit. Well, it's that time. Let's take a tour of the campground. Now you can see right here we're at the pull-throughs of the new KOA patio sites, and they look pretty nice, the wood ones that are raised off the ground. This upcoming one is really nice. Problem is, when you book though, you can only just book a patio site. They won't give you the site number or even give you a choice on which one you get. But look at this one. It has a nice swing and everything. Now that one is the one I wish we had. Now on the right side I didn't show you, but there's a lot of permanent residents, and well, many of their trailers and campers just look really run down to the point some of them are covered with fungus and mold and green slimy stuff, I don't know. And it just distracts, as you've seen many a times at a campground, having permanent residents that just doesn't keep up their campers. As we make our way, right here is the main street that goes through the campground. So if you pull it in, we were on the right side, and then of course on the right side of your view right now would be the left side. I didn't really walk down there. It didn't look as nice, I will tell you that, because it's all downhill, and it looks like they've attempted to level some of the campgrounds, or campsites I mean, as you can see right there, compared to the side I'm on where they're very level. As you keep walking forward, pretty much you're heading towards the store at the front. But overall, it really don't matter which site you have. They're all very basic and same. Outside, of course, the patio sites, which the wood ones seemed a little nicer than the red paver ones that I have. I was a little disappointed. Now they do have a putt-putt, but it needs some, well, refurbing. Some paint, some new putt-putt grass. My wife played it, and well, she said it was very challenging.
Yeah, Papa's going first, and he's going to show you how to do it, okay? They didn't give me anything.
This is the first time my daughter's ever played putt-putt. Well, let's take a look at the store. Got my mask on because, like I said, the pandemic's still going on. Now the store, they had some nice stuff. There were some comments on the reviews that the store was horrible. I found it fantastic. Tons of little knickknacks everywhere with all kinds of weird, funny sayings. I love knickknacks. This is the type of store that I like to see in a campground. A little bit of everything. They have plenty of supplies, deodorant, shampoos, Tylenol, aspirin, Excedrin, toys for the pool. You had drinks, water, Gatorade, sodas, and even monster drinks. They also had coffee, paper plates, cereal, pancake mix, and even some toys for the kids. Everything you want at a campground store. Now outside, they had, due to the virus, everything was shut down concerning playgrounds, and this is their playground. It looks a little dated to me, something I would have played on when I was a kid, in the early 80s or late 70s. But I couldn't get a closer look at it because it was shut down. There's the store, and right here is where you dump your trash. It's at the front, which, well, I thought they should have had 2 dump sites because that was just a long walk to carry trash. Now let's get back to the rest of our tour. Now to your right you saw a small little cabin you can stay at, and there's a back end site. Now we're getting ready to go down a little side trail where all the little small cabins are. I don't know what they have in them, but they're small and they're quaint. I'm not even sure if they have a kitchen. I wish I did. But they're neat little things. I do like looking at them, and they look like to be pretty nice. And they're slightly away from the campsites. Let me give you an aerial view. That's such a neat little section. But there's one little issue I heard, and it's a noise factor. Do you hear the road? So these cabins are pretty nice. They're very small, quaint, comfy. But the only issue is there's a road right here, and then there's a main road there. So you can see this would get pretty loud, even from our campsite. You hear cars going by. And I've heard, or I read several reviews that was their, see, car just went by. Their number one complaint was they can't sleep because of the noise. Now, fortunately at my house, I've got the same problem in my backyard, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I sort of ignore the car noises. But if you're looking for a really comfy, quiet campground, you're going to deal with road noise if you're on this side of the campground. Yes, the road noise was such a disappointment. Because as you can hear from this, all day long, cars driving by. Take a moment. You hear what I'm talking about? Also, there was sort of little junk spots everywhere on the campground, which I'll show you another one later. That little things like that just seem to take away from the quality of the experience of staying at a campground. Now on my left here you can see is a little doggy park, and when I say little, it was quite little. And like most things here at the campground, it just didn't seem like it was kept up. The bench over there, the wood on it was warped again and sort of looks like it needed to be replaced and stained or some type of finish on it. And well, That pretty much describes most of the campground, and that was a little small for a little doggy park. Now straight ahead they had something pretty neat, overflow parking, in which they were, the owners that is, very nice and allowed my in-laws to park there due to their age. And I thought that was very nice of them. And every single experience I had with the owners was exemplary. Such nice and wonderful people, and every interaction I had with any employee was absolutely fantastic. Here's another smaller playground that of course is roped off because of the virus. They don't want you playing on it. Now we're heading back to the Stokes Wagon. Do you hear the cars? Now here was our swing at our campsite, and again, take a close look. The boards are warped. It needs to be replaced, and the whole time I was sort of scared to sit in it because it looked like it would break. I even told my daughter to be careful in it. Also, I kept seeing dogs not on leashes multiple times, and even one of the employees saw it as she was walking her dog. Because one of the other dogs ran at hers, she still didn't force them to put their dog on a leash, so that was a big one. Here's another junk spot. They parked a tractor in the middle of their site. I just can't figure out why. Now here is showing you, I'm not even sure if this is still in use, but if it is, you can see how dated it is. It just doesn't look good. Now here's mine. There was soap on it when I got there. Don't know why. Again, everything's very dated, and I had a reverse polarity reading on my surge protector, which had me a little worried, but I had no issues. I'm not sure what the plastic for, unless it's some type of cheap insulation.
I want you to eat this stuff too, okay?
You know, it doesn't matter about all the things wrong with the campground.
I just give her a pocket knife so we can find you some food out in the wild.
What really matters is the conversations, the laughs, the moments, and the memories you make. And a campground seems to always magically be able to pull that out and show you that's what's really important. We live in a weird world right now, filled with hate and strife and fear. Maybe, just maybe, we should all take a moment and realize what's truly important. And that is spending time with our family. And in reality, life is pretty good.